Welcome back to another Flutter tutorial. In today's episode, let's learn how to work with GridView in Flutter. So GridViews are another widget in Flutter you can use to specify or to display a list of widgets. But instead of using the same way as we do with the list view widget, GridView widget allows you to specify items in a column and a row. And you also can control how many items you want to display inside of a row or a column. So in this episode, the idea is to come right here. Instead of displaying this placeholder, we want to display the grid of cars. So to do that, we'll create a few widgets in this episode. The first one I want to create right here. This will be where we will display all the popular cars that are rented inside of our platform. So let's go inside of this widgets folder, create a new file, and call this popular underscore car underscore feed underscore grid underscore widget dot. So let's make this a stateless widget. Change the name right here to be popular. And then here, let's return a grid view widget. So just call this grid view widget right here. So this is the default name constructor, the same as we have with list view. We also have some name constructor, this one for the builder, the count, and then this extend as also as this costume right here. So we'll learn in this episode how to work with build, count, and extend. So come right here. So if you hover over it, you will see we have a few properties inside of this grid list view. You can see right here we have a require grid delegate. So this grid delegate property is the property responsible to specify how many items we'll have in the cross direction. So let's see how to work with this one. So call the grid delegate. We have these two options right here, sliver grid delegate with fixed cross X count. So here we have to define how many items we want to display in the cross direction. So let's say right here this will be 2. And we also have right here our children property, the same as we have with a list view. So inside of it we can specify our list of widgets. As you remember in the last videos, we learned how to work with List.generate. Right here you specify the length of how many items you want to display, and then we have an anonymous method where we can provide an interactor property or an index where we can specify the position of each item inside of this list. So let's say we will return a card widget right here, and then let's call the child property. This will be the center widget, and then for the child of the center widget I want to display a text widget, and let's say for the text this will be position for the text plus, let's use string interpolation to specify the index. Add a semicolon right here. So save everything. Now copy your widget right here. Let's go inside of this second section and replace this placeholder right here. So now import your widget. Save everything. As you can see, we are able to show this grid right here. The index is from 0 to the 19, so 20 items will be generated for this grid view widget right here. So this is how we can use grid view with grid delegated using the sliver grid delegated with fixed cross X count. So don't worry about slivers for now. We'll have a video dedicated to slivers while you learn how to improve a list of items to add header and do some other customization when the user scrolls inside of the list. Now let's comment all this property and let's see how we can work with the second class. So call right here this sliver delegate with max cross extend. So right here you need to provide what is the weight for each item inside of your list. So if you say right here this will be 200 in pixel max, so we can place 3 items inside of our grid on the cross axis alignment. So if you change it to 400, we can now place 2. If you change it to 800, you can now place only 1 item at a time in the cross direction. So let's change this to be 400 so we can place 2 items. So as you can see, there is not much to work with GridView widget. It's the same process as we did with a list view widget. The only difference now, we have to provide this grid delegate property right here. So let's comment to this one. Let's uncomment to this. And now let's see how we can work with GridView.builder name constructor. So now we don't have this children property, so just comment everything or you can delete it. After this one, we have to provide now the item builder. This is the same method as we have inside of a list view widget. Inside of it, we have to return a widget. Let's copy this one right here for now. Let's return this card widget. And also, you have to provide the item count. So let's say 20 for the item count. Right here, we have to close arrow function right here. Close arrow grid. And now close arrow method. So save everything, just reload it, get started. So now for this widget right here, I will create a new widget that we'll have to specify right here. So when we call our grid view, we have to specify the widget that we want to render inside of our grid. But now we also have to get our list that will display right here. So for that, create a final property. This is what we'll have type list of cars and call this cars. Give it a comma right here. This will be required and call this dot cars. Make sure you import your class right here from the models. So let's delete everything right here. Let's get our current car. So var car, this will be equal to cars. Use the brackets and provide the index right here. This is lowercase car. So now you can call right here. Let's do car dot and just call right here the brand name. Actually, let's call the model. So save everything. We get this error because now we have to provide our list right here for the cars. So let's define a new variable right here. Actually, let's do an override our init state, and then let's create right here a list of type car. Let's call this car all cars. This will be initially equal to an empty list, and then inside of our init state, this all cars will be equal to car dot cars list right here. Again, if you want to sort everything inside of it, you can call this right here the sort method, and then car A, car B, call our arrow function A dot car, let's say car brand dot compared to B dot car brand. So we organizing or sorting our list right here. So now we can provide right here all cars inside of this list right here this way. So save everything. We'll get in this error right here. So now just reload your app, get started. We're still getting this error. Let's see what's happening right here. Oh, right here, call the cars actually dot length property. So save everything, reload, get started. And now we have right here just the model for each car, or the brand name. Actually, let's change car brand. So save everything. So now let's see how we can customize each item inside of our grid. So for that, we'll create a new widget. So let's go inside of this widget folder and create a new file. So this will be called popular underscore car underscore feed underscore grid underscore item underscore widget dot. So this will be a stateless widget. Change the name to be popular car feed grid item. And right here, let's return a container widget. Call the child property, and this will be a column widget. And here, let's specify our children properties inside of this container widget. So before this child, you can call the decoration and call the box decoration, and we'll specify properties like border, border radius, and so on. So right here, we have to get a car. So final car, this will be called car. Give it a comma right here. This will be required. Call this dot car. So now let's import our car from models, and let's see how we can customize this container. So right here, before the decoration, let's do a margin. So we have some space between each item inside of this list called edgeListSet.all with a value of 0.8. And then let's also add some padding inside of items inside of this column. You can call all, and the value will be 8.0. And then inside of our box decoration, we can call the border and call the border all with the weight defined at 0.3. Give it a comma. Now define the border radius. The border radius will take this border radius dot circular, and the value will be 9.0. So right here, I will add another container. So this container right here will be where we'll define the image for our car. So call the box decoration. And then let's specify an image. You have to call this image decoration, and let's get our image from assets for now. So I'll call the assets image, and here we specify the path to our image. So for now, let's just render the logo for our app. And then give it a comma right here and call the fit property. And this will be box fit with a value of cover. So right here, after our container, call the size box widget, and then let's give some height. Let's call this height 10 pixel. Give it a comma. So now I want to display a row after this container widget right here. So we'll have two text widget for this row. So this one will be for the brand, and then give it a comma. Let's specify the value for this brand right here. So you can come right here, car dot brand, give it a comma, call the text style, call your style property right here, and this will be text style, and just define the color for our text. So call the colors dot black. So right here we have to provide the main axis alignment. Call the main axis alignment with a value with space in between each item right here. So now just copy this row widget, give it a comma, and paste it a few times. So add a comma right here. So we have the brand. Now let's specify the model. car right here, car model, and then this will be price, and then call right here the price. Right here we have to do a toString method because price is a double. So save everything. So with all this in place, now copy your popular car feed grid item right here. Let's go inside of this grid and just replace it right here. Import your widget. So now car, this will be equal to car. So now save everything. As you can see right here, we are not able to display the image. So let's see what's going on. So right, our assets is misspelled. So assets / image logo. So save everything, reload your app, get started. We're still not able to see. Oh, right here, image pizza / make sure that the name of your is all correct. So assets, image, car industry or logo, JPG. So just reload your app right now and get started. We are still not able to display this image. So right here, select and just wrap with this expanded widget. So this will be flexed, and now we are able to show our image right here for our car. So right here inside of this decoration box, just call the border radius and just call border radius circular with a value of 9.0. So save. So now we have our category, and now we have our grid right here. This one is using list view widget, and this one is using the grid view widget. So now let's go to this. Instead of showing this widget right here, we have to display now all the items inside of this car. So for that, we'll create a new widget right here. Actually, let's create a new page. So go inside of this page right here and call this popular cars underscore page dot. Let's call a stateless widget. Change the name to be popular car. And right here, you just have to come inside of this grid widget, and let's just copy everything because this will be the same thing that we display in this list right there. So paste right here, require this dot cars, and inside of it, let's call this build method right here. So copy everything, come right here and just replace it. So now import this widget right here, save everything. So now we have to call this widget right here. So let's go inside of our my dashboard page right here for the destination. Let's change all of this. So copy these things right here and paste it here. So now import your widget, save everything, reload your app. So get started. So now when we go, we can see right here, we get in this error. So this is because we're not returning a scaffolding widget right here. So instead of returning this grid view directly, let's wrap it with a widget and then call this scaffold widget. Change this child to be the body, and then let's specify our app bar widget. So let's go inside of any of these pages and just copy all these properties for your app bar widget right here. So right here we have now our page set up. So for this grid, what we need to do in the upcoming video is now find a way to make when the user select category right here, we update the items inside of this list right here. And then when the user wants to see all the cars inside of this list, they can come right here and see all the items right here. So now we don't have right here a click event. So to do that, you can come right here, wrap with the widget. And instead of calling GestureDetector as we did in the video about list view widget, you also have these two widgets right here, Inkwell and Ink Response. These two widgets are basically the same, so we can add the same event as we have inside of our GestureDetect widget. You can see right here you have the ripple effect, and if you use this Ink Response, you will have, so save it, you will have this ripple effect as you see right here at the bottom of your image, but it's just a small circle right here. So if you don't want to use none of these two widgets, you can use GestureDetector. So now inside of this one we have to go to a page where we'll display a detail. But before that, let's see how we can use a new concept in Flutter where you can synchronize this list of categories with our grid right here. So for that, this process will call lifting state backup. In the next video, you learn how to work with it. So this is it for this video. If you have any question, leave a comment and give a like to this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notification when new videos are coming out. This is it. See you on the next one.